Hey cats, what's happening? Come on in. Most of you guys know me by the name Itchy, abbreviation from Itchymoche. My God-given name, Mark. But a lot of guys ask me, how did I get my name Itchymoche? Well, that goes back, way back to when they first came out with the internet. It was America Online. You could go on the internet. You know, we had these old computers, and when you went online, as soon as you went online, that computer would do all that, you know, make all kinds of noise. It almost sounded like an alarm going off. The whole household knew that you were going online for something, and they all came peeking around the corner to see what you were up to. Well, when you signed up for America Online, you had to have a screen name. And at the time, there was this punk band by the name of Blur, and they had this song, Woohoo. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it and you'll hear exactly what I'm talking about. The lyrics sound like the guy saying, I got my hair cut by Itchymoche. It's not exactly what he says, but, you know, you misinterpret the lyrics, and I thought, Itchymoche, that's a cool screen name. I'm going to go with it. So that was my original America Online screen name, and it just stuck with me all these years. Now, everybody calls me Itchy. Back in the 80s, believe it or not, they called me Sid. I don't even know where that came from. But somebody started calling me Sid, and next thing you know, everybody knew me as Sid. And, you know, when people nickname you something, after a while you get used to it and you actually answer to it. I mean, they'd be like, hey Sid, and I'd be like, yeah, what's up? Because that's what everybody called me. That kind of drifted away then, and you know, then later I became Itchy. So, hey, you know, bikers like to have these odd monikers or names. I don't know why. I think it goes back to the military, you know, the guys that served active duty, and they had all their fellow soldiers around them, and it was some camaraderie, and they liked to poke fun, and they'd nickname guys different things. I had a buddy, bless his soul, passed away a few years back, had a massive heart attack. Great big dude, looked like a bulldog, big beard, you know, tattooed biker. And when he walked into the door, he intimidated a lot of people. They called him Bear, but they didn't just call him Bear, they called him Pooh Bear, because he was a gentle giant. Yeah, he's a personal friend of mine, and he was the most laid back, awesome guy. He'd give you the shirt off his back in a heartbeat. Super nice guy. Another biker moniker or name that we gave this guy, Crack Man. And it wasn't because he smoked crack. It was because he was always sporting a plumber's crack, you know, with the crack of his butt sticking out all the time. So, Crack Man. Yeah. One of my other fellow bikers, we called him Grog Man because he liked to make his grog at home, his homemade liquor. That was, it tasted like apple cider. It was delicious stuff. But boy, it would sneak up on you, and wham, it packed a serious punch. So he went by the name of Grog Man, and that's what we called him all the time, Grog Man. There was this other big dude that we called him Oz, the Oz. Now, the night came when they were going to initiate me into the Cats Club, and they decided they were going to initiate me in the Oz. And we didn't ask for it. I mean, you know, I wasn't barking up their tree to join their club or anything, but I guess they just thought that they liked us and they wanted us to be part of they wanted us to be members of their club. And so they got me first and threw a shot of whiskey in my eyes so I couldn't see, and my eyes were stinging me, and they come up behind me, grabbed me, dragged me outside. And at the same time, they tried to get Oz, but he put up a fight. He knocked them all down. I mean, tables were flying, chairs were flying. It was a real scene. And he told him, he says, I didn't ask to be in your club. I don't want to be in your club, so just leave me alone. You know, he wanted to be an independent. And I couldn't blame him either. But he stood his own, And he kind of took the wind out of those cats' bubble, because they kind of gave up on their initiation with me. They just said, "Hey, you're in, whatever," you know. Took all the fun out of it because Oz threw him down that night. There was a biker chick at the bar they called Wild Child, and she lived up to her name too, the Wild Child. You didn't want to cross hairs with her, no. First time I met her, she came up and sat down right next to me at the bar. And she looks at me and she says, "You want to go outside?" And I was like, no, I don't think so. She says, "What's the matter? Are you a big pussy?" No, I'm just not in the mood. She punched me in the shoulder and walked away. And we got along pretty good after that. She didn't really harass me too much. Her husband, though, or her ex, had about it up to here with him one night. He's going about 70 miles an hour on the Harley. She was on the back, and he shoved her off the back onto the road. Now, you think that would have taken care of things. No. She jumped right up. All she had was a little bit of road rash. Just made her meaner than ever. The Wild Child. There was another guy at the bar, an older guy. He was an old biker. And he walked in. He was always like this. They called him Rooster because they said his head bobbled like a rooster when he was walking. So he was known as Rooster. And, you know, you'd say, "Hey, Rooster." And he'd turn around, "Yeah, what's up?" You know, he knew his name. Too funny. I mean, these guys, you throw these names on people, and after a while, they just get so used to them, they answer to them. But that's what you do in the biker culture, you know. Everybody has their own tag name, their own nickname. A lot of these guys, I don't even know what their real name ever was. One guy was a minister. They called him the preacher. Another friend of mine, we call him Freezer, because he's as big as a freezer chest. I rode with a guy that was a member of the Zulu Motorcycle Club, and they called him Makamu. I never could figure out where that one came from. Kind of like Itchymoche, I guess. But anyway, I always find it interesting, the names that they come up with for bikers. Not just bikers, I mean, a lot of people have their nicknames. I know a lot of you guys have nicknames too. I see in your comments and stuff. I know who you are. And if I called you by that name, you'd be like, "Huh? What's up?" One other guy that I think all of you have heard of, he's got a lot of names. You read the Bible, Jesus had all kinds of names. They called him Messiah. They called him Savior. They called him Master. Jehovah. The Son of God. Emmanuel. I mean, I could keep going. And he answered every one of them. Now, that's a lot of different names for one guy. Well, thanks for watching. Hey, quick update about V. She was pulled out of the hospital and sent to a rehab center. And she's being taken care of very good there now. She's starting to get some movement back in her arm and leg. She got a long way to go. She's not walking yet, but our hopes and prayers are that she'll be up and walking in a week or two, and we'll get her back home again. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the prayers. The support means so much to us. I got this card here from Jim Blair. Nice card in the mail the other day, wishing V and I, wishing Val a speedy recovery, and sending his thoughts and prayers. Thank you, Jim, for the card. Appreciate it. All right, cats, the sun's going down. The day's getting late. I'm tired. I still got to wrap some things up around here, so I got to get moving. Thanks for stopping by and visiting with me for a while this evening. If you like my videos, give me that thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'd like to have you along with this ride. We'll keep you posted. Till next time, cats, ride hard and die free.